Sagittarius, your destiny test is hours away. Will you pass or fail? Sagittarius, listen carefully because this is not a casual message, and it is not arriving by chance. The destiny test that decides the direction of your life is no longer approaching someday. In the future, it is moving toward you now, within hours, not next week, not next month, not when things calm down, but today, in this narrow window, where your awareness is being pulled here for a reason. Feel how your attention sharpened the moment you heard this, because that sensation is already part of the test. This is the kind of moment you've experienced before, the kind that looks small on the surface, almost ordinary. Yet later, you realize it was the fork in the road where everything split. Pass this test, and a new door opens that releases you from an old cycle you've been dragging behind you for years. Fail it, and the universe does not punish you. It simply repeats the lesson with different faces, different scenery, but the same underlying weight. And if that makes your chest tighten slightly, it's because somewhere inside you remembers a time when you stood at the right moment and chose the wrong response. Sagittarius, your soul knows this feeling. You are the seeker of truth, the lover of freedom, the one who trusts that life will work itself out, and because of that you sometimes delay when the universe asks you to act. This test does not come with flashing signs or dramatic warnings. It comes quietly disguised as a decision you could easily postpone, a message you could ignore, a truth you could soften, or a direction you could avoid just a little longer. And yet, if you are hearing these words, understand this clearly: the test has already found you. There is no need to chase it. There is no need to search. The universe only sends messages like this when the timing is exact. Ancient seers warned that destiny does not arrive loudly. It arrives precisely. You don't stumble into moments like this. You are guided into them. Ask yourself now, without answering out loud, when the universe tests you, do you choose comfort or do you choose truth? Do you protect your freedom by avoiding conflict, or do you protect your soul by standing in alignment? Sagittarius, this is not about being brave in the obvious ways. This is about being honest in the quiet moment when no one is watching and the choice feels small enough to dismiss. Buddhism teaches that karma is not punishment, it is feedback. The test is not here to judge you. It is here to reveal whether you are ready to stop repeating the same lesson in different disguises. The moment you hesitate, the moment you rationalize, the moment you say later, you are already responding. Even silence is an answer. Even delay is a choice. If you feel a strange urgency rising right now, that is not anxiety, it is activation. The universe does not rush you unless the window is narrow. Sagittarius energy thrives on open horizons, but destiny tests often arrive when the path seems to narrow instead of expand. That is how you know it matters. Pass this test, and you step onto a timeline where your beliefs finally align with your actions. Fail it, and you remain free on the surface while feeling trapped underneath, wondering why the same themes keep returning no matter how far you travel. This is not about luck. This is not about fate being cruel or kind. This is about whether you recognize the moment when truth asks for your participation. Do not scroll away. Do not minimize what you are feeling. In the next few minutes, you will hear the signs that confirm whether the test is already unfolding around you, and once you see them, you cannot unsee them. This is why you were brought here before the rest of the message even begins. Sagittarius, you are not being warned because you are weak. You are being tested because you are capable. The universe does not test souls that are asleep. It tests those standing on the edge of growth. And if you are still listening, it means this moment is connected to your future in ways you will understand later. Stay with me. Let the message unfold. And as you listen, quietly affirm this within yourself. I am ready to respond differently this time. If this message resonates, don't keep it contained. Engage with it. Like this video. To anchor the energy of awareness, subscribe so you don't miss the next signal, and share this message because another Sagittarius is standing at the same crossroads without realizing it yet. Your destiny test is not coming. It has been activated. Sagittarius, now, let me tell you where this test is truly coming from, because understanding its origin is what separates fear from clarity and reaction from mastery. You are standing at a rare intersection, a crossing point between expansion and old karma, where the part of you that longs to move forward meets the unfinished lessons you thought you had already outgrown. This is not coincidence. In astrology, these moments appear when growth can no longer continue without resolution. You are being pulled forward by your future while being gently, insistently tugged by the past. And the tension you feel right now is the friction between those two forces. This is why the test feels urgent but subtle at the same time. It is not loud because it does not need to be. It is precise. Sagittarius energy is ruled by meaning, belief, and truth. You are designed to expand consciousness, to see farther than others, to trust that the road will reveal itself as you walk it. But when cosmic energy sharpens, the universe does not ask you to dream. It asks you to choose. Right now, the astrological current surrounding you is activating a fundamental polarity: truth versus illusion, faith versus fear. On one side is what you already know deep down, the quiet truth you've sensed for a long time. On the other side is the comfort of delaying, rationalizing, or telling yourself that clarity will arrive later. This is not punishment. This is calibration. Buddhism teaches that maturity of the soul is revealed not by what you understand, but by what you act upon when understanding arrives. The universe is not testing your intelligence. It is testing your readiness. Sagittarius. You often recognize truth before others do. Your intuition picks it up early, your awareness feels it in advance. But your challenge has always been timing. You wait for the perfect moment, the perfect feeling, the perfect alignment. And sometimes while you wait, the moment quietly passes. That is why this test does not look dramatic. It may arrive as a message that seems ordinary, a proposal that appears harmless, a silence that invites you to overthink, or a decision so small it feels unworthy of serious attention. And yet, this is exactly how destiny works. The most powerful shifts rarely announce themselves. They slip in through normalcy, knowing that only those who are awake will notice. Understand this clearly. The test looks ordinary, but the consequence is not. The choice you make or avoid now determines whether an old karmic loop finally dissolves or continues to repeat under new circumstances. In Buddhist philosophy, karma does not chase you. It waits for you to respond differently. And astrology confirms this pattern. When expansion energy meets unresolved belief patterns, life presents a mirror. The mirror does not force you to look. It simply reflects what you are ready to face. If you turn away, the mirror reappears later. If you meet it, the path opens. Ancient prophecies have long warned about moments like this. Baba Vanga spoke of destiny being redirected not by grand events, but by small decisions made when no one believes they matter. She warned that humanity often misses turning points because they arrive disguised as everyday choices. Sagittarius. This is why your test feels deceptively simple. The universe is not asking you to leap off a cliff. It is asking you to align your action with what you already believe to be true. Faith is not what you say you trust. Faith is what you choose when uncertainty appears. You were born to pass tests of belief. Sagittarius souls incarnate to learn the difference between freedom that escapes responsibility and freedom that comes from alignment. This test is not about control or sacrifice. It is about integrity. Will you honor what you know even if it disrupts comfort? Will you trust yourself enough to move without external validation? Will you choose growth even when fear whispers that staying still feels safer? These are not philosophical questions right now. They are active forces shaping the next phase of your life. As you listen, notice how this message does not feel foreign. It feels remembered. That is because your future self already understands what is being asked of you. The cosmic download you are receiving now is not new information. It is a reminder. And reminders arrive when timing is exact. If this resonates, it is because you are already standing close to the decision point. The universe does not warn those who are lost. It signals those who are ready. Stay present. Do not rush ahead. In the next part, we will reveal the specific signs that confirm the test is already unfolding around you, signs you may have already seen but not yet recognized. If this message is activating something within you, anchor it. Like this video to stabilize the energy, subscribe to stay aligned with upcoming guidance, and share this message because another Sagittarius is standing at the same threshold, sensing the shift, but not yet understanding it. What comes next will show you exactly how to recognize the moment before it passes. Sagittarius. This is the moment where the universe stops speaking in theory and start speaking through your life itself. Because once the test is activated, it never announces itself with drama. It reveals itself through signs so subtle that only an awake soul will notice them. And if you feel a strange recognition, as I say this, pause for a breath, because that recognition is not imagination, it is alignment. One of the first signs is often a person who suddenly reappears or disappears without warning. Someone you thought was done, closed, resolved, or distant suddenly enters your awareness again, or vanishes in a way that leaves an unanswered echo. This is not about the person. This is about the choice they activate inside you. The universe uses familiar energy to test whether you respond from growth or from habit. Another sign arrives internally, quietly, almost invisibly. You feel restless without a clear reason. Nothing is technically wrong yet. Your nervous system is alert. Your thoughts circle your body, senses movement before your mind can name it. This is not anxiety, it is preparation. When destiny shifts, your intuition receives the message before logic does. Buddhism teaches that the body knows before the story forms. That subtle unease is your soul tapping on the door of your awareness, asking if you are paying attention this time. Then come the memories, dreams that repeat, faces, places, or scenes you haven't consciously thought about rising into your mind without invitation. Sagittarius. These are not random recollections. When old images resurface during moments of decision, they are reminders of unresolved lessons, asking to be completed, not relived. The universe does not bring the past back to punish you. It brings it back to see if you will respond differently now. And notice how these memories don't arrive loudly. They slip in during quiet moments before sleep after waking, when defenses are down and truth has room to breathe. Another signal is a sentence that lands heavier than it should. A comment someone makes that seems harmless on the surface, yet stays with you echoing long after the conversation ends. You replay it. You feel its weight. This is because it touched a truth you've been avoiding naming. Sagittarius words carry frequency, and when a phrase triggers discomfort, it is often because it reflects something you already know. The test hides in moments like these, asking whether you will brush it aside or let it reveal what it came to show. Then comes the most defining sign of all, the fork between truth and safety. You feel the pull to speak honestly, to act clearly, to choose alignment. And at the same time, you feel the temptation to stay quiet, to keep things smooth, to delay for comfort. This is the exact point where the test sharpens. Freedom-loving Sagittarius often believes silence preserves independence, but silence chosen out of fear slowly becomes a cage. The universe is not forcing you to speak or act dramatically. It is simply watching how you respond when honesty asks for courage. Pay attention to how your intuition has grown louder lately. You sense things before they happen. You know outcomes before they unfold. Yet your rational mind keeps trying to explain it away, telling you to wait, to gather more information, to not jump ahead. This inner debate is not confusion. It is the test itself. Intuition speaks first. Logic follows later. When you ignore the first voice, life repeats the message louder. When you listen, the path clarifies quickly. Sagittarius wisdom is not hesitation. Wisdom is timing, and timing is now. You may also notice yourself reconsidering a familiar decision pattern. Something you've done the same way for years suddenly feels wrong, outdated, or misaligned. You sense yourself about to turn the wheel instead of staying on autopilot. This moment matters more than it appears. Destiny often changes direction. Not through dramatic revolutions, but through quiet course corrections, when you feel the urge to choose differently. That urge is not rebellion, it is evolution. Let this be said clearly and let it settle deeply. This is not coincidence, this is a checkpoint. The universe places checkpoints when growth requires confirmation. If you recognize these signs, you are already inside the test. If you dismiss them, the test does not disappear. It simply completes itself without your awareness locking in a timeline you did not consciously choose. That is why awareness is everything. That is why you are here now. Sagittarius. If even one of these signs feels familiar, pause and acknowledge it. Awareness collapses fear. Recognition opens choice, and choice is where destiny bends. Do not rush. Do not panic. Simply stay present. The universe only tests souls it trusts to pass. And if this message resonates, anchor it. Like this video to protect the clarity you are receiving. Subscribe to stay aligned with what comes next. Share this message because another Sagittarius is feeling these signs, but hasn't yet named them, and naming is power. Remember this, if you notice the test, you still have agency. If you ignore it, the moment still passes. And moments like this do not return unchanged. Sagittarius, now the message deepens. Because this part is not about prediction or signs. It is about wisdom, and wisdom is where destiny quietly reshapes itself. In Buddhist understanding, karma is not a punishment sent to hurt you, and it is not a reward waiting to save you. Karma is a question the universe asks again and again. Are you awake yet? This is why your test does not arrive with fear meant to crush you. It arrives with clarity meant to wake you. The universe is not measuring how talented you are, how strong you appear, or how much you have endured. This test asks something far simpler and far more confronting. Are you being honest with yourself, Sagittarius? Your soul is naturally expansive. You seek meaning, truth, and higher understanding, yet when life places a mirror in front of you, you often look away just long enough to stay comfortable. Buddhism teaches that suffering is born not from pain itself, but from resistance to seeing clearly. And here is the quiet truth meant only for you. This test is not asking whether you can handle more. It is asking whether you will stop avoiding what you already know. You do not fail because you are weak. You fail only when you choose unconsciousness over clarity. Notice your patterns with compassion, not judgment. When pressure rises, you move. You travel. You change scenery. You distract yourself with possibility. Or you laugh it off, smooth it over. Convince yourself that things will naturally resolve if you give them time. You tell yourself, "It's fine. I'll deal with it later. It will work out." And often that strategy has kept you afloat. But this time, Sagittarius avoidance is no longer neutral. This time, avoiding the choice is the choice. In this cycle, to dodge is to drift back into the same lesson, wearing a new disguise. And that is why this moment feels heavier than others. The universe has narrowed the doorway. Buddhist philosophy reminds us that attachment is not only clinging to people or outcomes. Attachment is clinging to familiar identities. Sagittarius. You are attached to freedom, but sometimes you confuse freedom with escape. True freedom is not running from discomfort. It is standing still long enough to choose truth over habit. This is why the message feels calm but firm. You are not being forced. You are being invited. And invitations are sacred because they honor free will. The universe does not drag awakened souls forward. It opens a door and waits. Understand this deeply. Letting go is not loss. Letting go is release from repetition. When you release something that no longer aligns, you are not shrinking your life. You are unclogging its flow. Buddhism teaches that when you stop grasping, energy moves naturally. When you cling, energy stagnates. That heaviness you sometimes feel is not exhaustion from effort. It is fatigue from carrying a cycle that has already expired. The test is simply asking whether you are ready to put it down. Sagittarius. When you choose in alignment, the result is unmistakable. Your body relaxes. Your mind clears. Your path feels illuminated, even if the destination is not fully visible. This is not because everything becomes easy, but because resistance dissolves. When you choose correctly, you feel lighter. Not because life removes challenges, but because you are no longer divided inside. When you choose incorrectly, the universe does not punish you. It repeats the lesson. Same emotion, same tension, same confusion. Only the faces change. Different place, different timing, same underlying question. And eventually, the soul grows tired of repeating what it already understands. This is why the message now turns inward. No prophecy can save you from a choice you avoid. No guidance can replace your own clarity. Buddhism teaches that enlightenment is not gained, it is remembered. You already know what feels aligned. You already know what you have been postponing. The test does not demand action fueled by fear. It asks for action rooted in honesty. And honesty is gentle, but it is firm. Sagittarius. You are not being rushed because you are late. You are being signaled because the window is precise. Destiny does not require perfection. It requires presence. When you are present, the correct response arises naturally. When you are distracted, life chooses for you. This is the difference between conscious karma and unconscious repetition. And right now, you are being offered conscious choice. As this message settles, allow yourself to feel its calm authority. There is no urgency to panic, only an invitation to align. You are not being tested because you are behind. You are being tested because you are ready to move beyond who you have been. The universe only asks questions when it is prepared to honor your answer. Stay with this awareness. In the next moment, we will anchor this understanding into action so the insight does not fade back into thought. If this message resonates, acknowledge it. Engagement is not about the algorithm alone. It is about anchoring intention. Like this video to stabilize the energy you are receiving. Subscribe to remain aligned with what comes next. Share this message because another Sagittarius is still mistaking avoidance for peace, and peace begins with truth. And as you prepare to move forward, remember this: you are not being judged. You are being trusted. Sagittarius, if you are still here, listen closely, because this moment is no longer about information, it is about activation. You did not arrive at the end of this message by accident. Something inside you stayed, and that alone confirms this test is directly connected to you. Right now, the universe is not watching what you say or what you promise later. It is watching how you respond in this precise moment of awareness. This is where timelines lock, not with drama, but with intention. Before anything else, allow yourself to slow down. Wherever you are, stop moving for just a breath. Close your eyes gently, not to escape, but to turn inward. Inhale deeply through your nose, feeling the air fill your chest, then exhale slowly through your mouth, letting tension release without effort. Do this once more, slower this time, as if you are signaling to your nervous system that it is safe to be present. Sagittarius presence is power. When you are present, the universe can meet you clearly. Now, with your eyes still closed or softly open, bring your attention to the decision you have been avoiding. You already know which one it is. It is the thought that keeps returning when everything else quiets down. You don't need to analyze it, justify it, or explain it. Simply acknowledge it. Buddhism teaches that awareness alone dissolves half of suffering. By naming what you've been avoiding, you step out of unconscious repetition and into conscious choice. This is not about forcing action. This is about ending denial. As you breathe silently, affirm within yourself, not as a wish, but as a declaration. I choose truth. I am ready to pass this test. Feel how different this feels from hoping or waiting. This is not a demand made to the universe. It is a signal sent from your core. Sagittarius. When intention becomes embodied reality, responds. You are not asking for permission. You are aligning your frequency with the path that was already waiting for you. Understand this deeply. Timelines do not shift because of effort alone. They shift when awareness and action meet. Right now, you are standing at that meeting point. The universe responds to clarity far more than it responds to struggle. That is why this simple moment matters. The test does not require perfection. It requires honesty. And honesty, once chosen, has momentum. When you choose alignment, life rearranges quietly, efficiently, without needing conflict. This is why we anchor this moment. Commenting is not just engagement, it is declaration. When you type the words, "I pass my destiny test," you are not convincing anyone else. You are marking this moment in time. Each comment acts as a signal, both energetically and symbolically, confirming your readiness to move forward. The universe listens when intention is expressed clearly, and through the algorithm, this message is guided to other Sagittarius who are standing at the same crossroads, unaware that the choice is already active. Sagittarius wealth is not only money. Wealth is clarity. Wealth is freedom from repetition. Wealth is the ability to move forward without dragging old cycles behind you. When you lock this timeline, you protect your future energy from leakage. You stop feeding patterns that no longer serve you. That is how abundance stabilizes. That is how peace becomes sustainable. Passing this test does not mean life becomes easy. It means life becomes aligned. If this message resonates, share it. Not out of fear, but out of recognition. Someone else under this sign is feeling the same tension, the same restlessness, the same quiet knowing, but has not yet named it. Sharing this message is not about convincing them. It is about allowing the signal to reach those who are ready to hear it. Awareness spreads the way light does naturally when there is openness. And now, commit to staying connected. Subscribe to this channel not because you need guidance forever, but because timing matters. Destiny unfolds in stages, and those who stay aware recognize the markers as they appear. Each message builds on the last, strengthening discernment, protecting momentum, and reinforcing clarity. Missing signals is not failure, but catching them accelerates growth. Sagittarius, remember this as you move forward. You were never meant to fail this test. Tests are offered to those capable of passing them. You are not being rushed because time is running out. You are being invited because alignment is available now. The universe does not force awakenings. It offers them patiently, repeatedly, until the soul responds consciously. Let this be the moment you respond differently. Let this be the moment you stop postponing clarity. Let this be the moment you trust yourself enough to choose truth over habit. If you are still here, acknowledge it, anchor it, declare it. You are not watching this video by coincidence. This moment found you because you were ready.